Hi YouTubers, and welcome back to the channel. So we're back on the Turbo Mini today. It's the weekend, so let's get into it anyway. So this, I've already started taking it apart, so this is what I've found. So I've taken off the top of the carb, and you can see the jet there. At the moment that's set at the lowest point. It should be lower than that, and that's why it's running lean. So I'm going to pop this carburetor back off, take it apart and see what I can find. Okay, that's really strange. So I've taken the base off the float bowl, and then I tried the adjustment screw, and it wound down, which meant that I could drop the jet in the carburetor, which means there was actually nothing wrong with it. So I don't understand why, when it was on the car, I couldn't adjust it. So yeah, that was a bit of a wasted exercise. But what I'll do is I'll pop the bottom of the jet here off, this screw here. I'll take that off. That's for your idle adjustment, and I'll check the float height before we reassemble it, and then get it back on the car. Okay, so that's the float height set. These are metric gauges, feeler gauges, so that's a millimetre there. So I've set the float to basically a millimetre below this face level here. Okay, let's get it back on the car. Okay, so I've got all the car back together now, so I'm just going to fire it up and run it and bring it up to temperature, and then try and tune it up a little bit. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I've got it running pretty good on idle. Really happy with where I am with the air-fuel ratio on the idle now, so the adjustment on the carb's working properly. The only issue I seem to have is it seems to be going a little bit rich as I accelerate. So I'll show you I'll start it up and you can have a look. The other thing it's doing as well, as soon as you let off the throttle from about, I guess around 3000 RPM, as soon as you let off the throttle, it's basically going really lean just for a brief second. Having never put a gauge like this on the car before, I don't know if it's supposed to do that or not, so any advice on that would be absolutely awesome. Anyway, I'll start it up and I'll show you what it's doing. So it just takes a little while for the sensor to heat up. You can see it's doing its job there. So as I accelerate, and you saw there, as soon as I take my foot off the throttle, it really leans out. So any advice on that, guys? That would be awesome. Okay, just found another issue as well. So if I point my finger at it, just down here, if I can get my hand in there, it's a bit tight. Just there is a gasket, and it's where the exhaust downpipe housing mates onto the exhaust, or it mates from the housing mates to the exhaust, and it also mates onto the back of the turbo housing. So yeah, that's blowing. That's a new gasket gone in there as well, but the gasket I got with the kit is just like a steel flat, almost composite gasket in there, and the original one was a stainless pressed steel one. Now I've been all over the internet and I really can't find anything that's going to fit, so I've got another turbo lying around, so I took the dimensions off the other turbo. I just can't find anything that's going to fit, so this is what I've come up with. I don't know if you can see that. This is off a Land Rover, so that fits the turbo on a Land Rover, and I'm pretty sure that's off a 300 TDI, so that's easy to get. Now the bolt holes, they all line up perfectly, but this ring here is slightly big. I think it will go just about, it will be on the outer edge of it. So I've got no options really. I'm going to put this on and just see how it goes. If it works, that's a really easy solution to an ongoing problem where you can't find parts for these cars anymore. You know, even silly things like gaskets now are getting really hard to get hold of. So yeah, so anyway, let's give that a go and see if it works. Okay, so I've taken it apart. That's the one I've just taken out, which to be honest with you is absolute rubbish. Yeah, so that obviously fits there, it's supposed to seal it. So brand new gasket, and it already leaks. Now you could say maybe the surfaces aren't true, but it wasn't actually leaking before. It's just that the turbo was all taken apart and reassembled, and that's the only thing that's failed. Is that gasket. So this is the Land Rover one. It is a bigger hole, as you can see, but I think it'll work. As you can see, it just about, it's kind of on the outer edge of it, but I think it'll work. I don't think I've got a lot of options anyway, so I'm just gonna have to go for it, and yeah, hopefully it seals. It's actually quite an easy part to get up on this car, so yeah, half an hour and it's all back off again, so it's not really a biggie. Another place I've noticed it's leaking, and you can see it there, so the exhaust must have been leaking around there as well. So these are real, seem to be really problematic on these. Trying to get that flange there, the seal on the exhaust, even though you can see that was pretty clean before it mated onto the exhaust. I put some exhaust gasket on there, you know, the stuff you get in a tube, like fire cement. So you can see where it's been on there around there, but it's obviously not even worked on that side. So anyway, I'll give it another go. I'll put the cement on there. I think I put quite a bit on this time, and I'll bolt that all up tight, and then I'll use that metal gasket and bolt that all up, and hopefully that will seal it. Okay, so this is my ignition map. So I've kind of thrown this together, trying to be conservative with the advance on the timing. So the maximum I've got is about 34 degrees. If anybody's found this is too advanced and it's causing detonation, then yeah, please let me know. Yeah, so it's a bit of a stab in the dark with this map, but it'd be nice to hear from anybody else that's got or running Tuner Studio on their turbo cars or classic A series turbo cars, what sort of mapping they've got. Engine is pretty standard cam, slightly mild. It's KC 500 Kent cam on there, which yeah, it's just a mild cam, road cam really. So it's nothing big and fancy on there, or yeah, roller rockers, but 1.3, and I've also reduced the CR. The CR's down to about 8.5, so we just open the chambers up a little bit in the head. So yeah, any help on this or any advice would be absolutely awesome. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Okay, cheers for now.